Ahoy! Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to another podcast. And I would like to also welcome here my today's guest, Mr. Michal Brixi, Czech front-end developer who is working in the United Kingdom since 2015. Ahoy, Misho!
Ahoy, hello everyone, how are you?
So today it will be a bit different podcast. Let's pretend that we have now one listener, let's say from India, and he would like to move to Europe. And let's assume that he is kind of hesitating if he should move to the United Kingdom or to the Czech Republic. So maybe we can help him. So the first topic that we should cover for sure is the people. Do you think that people are nicer in the United Kingdom or in Scotland or in Czechia?
A lot of people will hate me for this, but definitely UK. I came here, I was so surprised by the way people over here welcome everyone, foreigners, locals, travelers, and how friendly and open they are. So like you can just start a conversation with random stranger on the bus stop or in the pub or anywhere else, and everyone is just smiling at you. And I really like this fact that you can just go on the street and you will just greet the people as you walk, because that's the nice thing to do. And I really appreciate it over here.
Yeah, right. When it comes to the Czech Republic, people are a bit colder at first, I would say. So they are not smiling at you as much if they don't know you. So that might be a bit unpleasant when you arrive. And I would say that it's also quite important to say that there are not that many foreigners in the Czech Republic as in the United Kingdom. So, especially if you will travel somewhere outside of Prague, there might be a bit of staring if you are of different than Caucasian ethnicity.
That's my experience when I lived there, when I left Czech Republic like 5 years ago. I think the situation will be similar still.
So I believe that now we should talk about some points that's for sure plus for the Czech Republic to get some points to our country. So I would say I would play it the safe way. Beer. Beer
Here,
is
right?
really good in the Czech Republic. So if you are a beer person, that's the place you should go. And especially when it comes to the price of the beer, because even if you go to the pub, I believe that the price would be like €1, maybe €2 maximum. And that's like restaurant price.
Yeah, and that's very posh place for €2 already. Whereas over here, if you go to a pub, you start at like £3.50, so €4 ish, and it can go up to like 5.50 or something like that. So definitely, if you want to spend a night out with friends over here, it's going to be much more expensive.
We must also say the other side of this thing, and that is that as the consumer prices are quite low in the Czech Republic, also the salaries are much lower than when it comes to the United Kingdom. So maybe we can try to go to this topic a bit deeper to find out what comes out of it, because on the other hand you have everything cheaper like the rent, car, and so on. So as you have been moving from the Czech Republic to the United Kingdom, what's your impression?
Well, definitely UK is much more expensive than Czech Republic when it comes to uh, pretty much everything. Like when you go grocery shopping, you will get a little bit extra on most of the things, except few things that are kind of curious. Then you will get like rents here are kind of astronomical, although like Edinburgh, where I live right now, is the second most expensive city to live in UK. You can definitely get cheaper places to live, but definitely it's in average higher. When you're talking about owning a car in UK is such a pain. You have to pay your mandatory insurance, and that insurance will definitely be 450 to 500 pounds per year, and that's the basic, and you will not get any cover with that at all. So that's really expensive.
So probably if you don't have such a big savings and you are coming from some Asian country, it's maybe easier to go to the Czech Republic because like the rent payment that you have to pay at first and so on, it will be much lower than if you decide to go to the United Kingdom.
Yeah, definitely. Like you can take it as a level up, or you can just stuck in Czech Republic that you never heard about before. You will actually like it and stay there because I think it's a great country for many different reasons, especially for people that actually know like, oh, UK, that's the, rich and wealthy country. And that's like the destination for me. Doesn't have to be. There's many different options.
Right, and I'm glad that you are mentioning it because now it's time to say another big plus for the Czech Republic. It comes for the data from 2019 because 2020 is quite a tricky time, but let's stick with it. And that's the unemployment rate because for many years the Czech Republic has the lowest unemployment rate in all of the European Union. I have here even the exact numbers. So when it comes to EU, the average of unemployment rate is 6%, but in the Czech Republic, it was only 1.9%. And when it comes to the United Kingdom, it's 3.7%. So Czech Republic is winner in this one.
All right, yeah, so more opportunities to get a job in Czech Republic. Interesting. Didn't know that.
But on the other hand, if you are a foreigner, then of course in the United Kingdom you are just fine with English. But in the Czech Republic, I am assuming that you will have a chance of getting a job maybe in Prague, Pilsen, maybe Brno or Ostrava, like the four biggest cities of the Czech Republic. And in the rest of the Czech Republic, I'm quite sure that you don't really have a chance to find anything like without knowledge of Czech language, which is quite hard to learn.
Yeah, definitely. I think I heard like few stories of people trying to, start living in Czech Republic, and then they have to go to the different governmental organizations to get like their insurance, taxes, etc. And the governmental organizations require them to either have a translator or speak Czech. So that's kind of sad.
But another big plus for the Czech Republic is when it comes to the travel, because the Czech Republic is right in the middle of Europe, so it's very easy to travel around to another foreign countries. Like the neighboring countries are Germany, Austria, Poland, and Slovakia, and you can really reach them in a few hours by car or by train, which we have quite a nice train system as well. So if you are in Europe for the first time, it might be a really nice spot to start discovering of another European countries. What's your experience from Scotland and when it comes to this traveling around or traveling by train, let's say?
Yeah, well, like let's start with the neighboring countries because basically you just have water. So there's nothing much you can do. There's many like different parts of UK and it's kind of big when you like add all the islands and everything. So if you're fine with going around within the same country that has like multiple nationalities inside or multiple, these Scots, Irish, English, you would be fine. You would be entertained for a while, but it's definitely not that different as like going from Czech Republic to Austria, Germany, Poland. It's kind of a big shift. And when it comes to traveling, it's it's actually quite a joke. Over here in UK, the public transport is really bad. I can't stress this enough. If you are born here and you think that UK public transport is good or getting better, you still have like you are still like 50 years behind the Central Europe. Like seriously, public transport here is absolutely great. So when I want to go anywhere nearby, just climbing like 2-hour ride by train, I will pay £50 for a return ticket,
Ooh.
which is quite a bit. My best guess is that I would pay like 15 in Czech Republic for something like that. So if you want to be environmental, or you don't have a car, or whatever other reason, and you need to use the public transport, it's kind of hard because it's really expensive. Second thing is, if you're not going between the major cities, so like between London, Edinburgh, Glasgow, etc., it's not that well connected, and there are places where the bus wouldn't really go, or just go like once per day or something like that. So the car culture here is really strong. So most people are kind of used to and expect to have the driving license and get around with a car.
So I'm assuming that the Czech Republic is winner when it comes to this, because the public transportation is really good and really affordable. And on the other hand, it's not like in the US that only like really poor people who don't have car use it. In the Czech Republic, it's quite normal. I guess that like students, but also people are commuting to work just using public transportation system. And I remember that I was quite surprised to find out that it's not normal in London or in another Western countries that, for example, when we are in Pilsen, we can use our credit card to pay the fee, just
Yeah,
to go with
contactless.
contactless way. Yeah. And you don't have to have anything special, just go there and without any cash you can do it. And I remember that then I traveled to London and it wasn't there yet. I guess that today it might be, but we are quite advanced when it comes to using these types of technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. So when were you in London?
I believe it was like 2014.
Yeah, that will be about that. So right now, definitely in Edinburgh and definitely in London, you can use contactless everywhere. Let's face it, Corona just like sped everything up. But even like in the past 2 years, you were able to use the contactless payments over here in public transport. So regarding this, they are kind of fine, but it's still kind of funny that the eastern country of the Czech Republic is just like, yeah, we had this like past 15 years. Don't know what's the big deal.
I was also quite surprised that in the Czech Republic we have those like trolley buses. That's like bus that's running on electricity, which is kind of cool and also ecological. But here in Germany, they never heard of it. At least here in Bavaria. So when I was just explaining them like how it works, they were like, "Wow, such a futuristic solution for buses!" And it's like, yeah, it's there for like 50 years probably.
Yeah, and I think most people over here would kind of appreciate it, because over here you have the iconic red double deckers, like the big ones that you can see from the pictures next to the Big Ben or something like that. And those are usually really, really old. And the fumes going from that one are absolutely disgusting. So compare that to the trolley bus that just goes on electricity. There are no fumes.
When it comes to the currency, I'm assuming that it will be a draw because we have Czech crown in the Czech Republic and you have pound in the United Kingdom, so no euro in any of those countries. So yeah.
Yeah, you can't really win. You will always, when you travel abroad, you will be always like, what do you have? Oh yes, euro. Everyone has a euro now, but this country.
Right. But now, the next point, I'm sure that the Czech Republic will win, and that's the fact that Czech Republic is in European Union. And what about UK? What about UK?
Don't look at me. I couldn't vote and I wouldn't vote for sure. So yeah, like if you don't know, UK decided to leave the European Union. In theory, January 2020, they left, but there was like a period where they are supposed to be out. So in theory, they are not in the European Parliament, but at the same time, they are still in when it comes to the deals and trades and everything. So on the 1st of January 2021, very soon, they are going to get out of European Union. Nobody knows at this point what's going to happen, what will be the impacts, etc., etc. but definitely the impact after this time will be that it will be kind of harder for people going from abroad over here to stay here, to study here. And yeah, in general, these things will be kind of slightly more complicated. It is even more complicated, FYI, because UK is not within the Schengen area. So the free people movement area doesn't apply here. And if you think like, I can just go here and visit, it's not that simple.
The next point that I'm assuming that the Czech Republic will be winner again is health system. Because in the Czech Republic, it works the way that if you are employed, it works kind of automatically that from your salary goes one part to the health system, and then you don't really have to care whenever something happens to you, and you even have to call an ambulance or something like that. You are having a surgery, you can have it without any extra fees. I mean, there are, of course, some certain things that you will probably want to pay a bit extra, like when you go to the dentist to pay for some bit better material than is the one paid from the common system. But theoretically speaking, you can just go to any doctor and search for help without the necessity of paying anything. So how is it in the United Kingdom?
I don't think NHS is bad. I think NHS is very comparable to the system in Czech Republic. The difference between the Czech healthcare and UK healthcare, as far as I know, is how long you wait for procedures and stuff. I try to compare that, and I'm really convinced that the waiting times over here in UK are way longer. So just to get an appointment with my GP can be usually like, okay, come in a week or something like that. So it takes a little bit. And when I wanted something, okay, we need to do something extra, then it was like usually 30-day waiting time. That's my usual experience. Whereas from the same things in Czech Republic, it was usually, okay, I go to the GP without even announcing myself. Hello, I'm here. Okay, they will do the paperwork and everything, give me a paper. I will go to the special doctor. They will do the procedure there. And the same day I'm done, or the next day maximum. So that's my experience from Czech Republic. So definitely like longer waiting times over here.
Another topic is safety. And that might be also surprising for people who have no idea about the Czech Republic. But when it comes to like worldwide ranking, Czech Republic is doing very well. And I would say that it's due to the fact that we don't really have any terroristic attacks that are happening in
Nobody can
another
find us on the map.
that are happening in another Western countries. And I know that this can be a bit of a benefit, that you don't really have to be afraid of being stabbed when you are walking around the street. And on the other hand, when you are living in the Czech Republic, you hear that these cases of terroristic attacks happen, for example, in London. So you won't hear about those happening in the Czech Republic. What's your feeling about like the regular life when it comes to safety in the United Kingdom?
Yeah, so obviously this will depend on my social economic bubble, because I'm definitely not visiting pubs too much. I'm definitely not in the groups of people that would tend to fight each other or something like that. But overall, I feel here really safe. Uh, Having said that, whenever I moved to UK, which was in Northern Ireland, which was in Belfast, uh, Belfast, if you don't know, is an area with a really troublesome history past, and it's like a recent past, so like past 10, 20, 30 years, depends how you view that. And there was a lot of terrorist activity. There was a lot of troubles, how they call it. And till now, there's a bit of a tension between like two groups of people. Having said that, nothing really happened in past, let's say, 5 years. So it definitely calmed down. Locals are kind of fine with stuff, and there's definitely nothing, no danger towards the tourists, because those tensions are between those two groups of locals. So I would feel definitely safe. And I think that in general, this is also like one of the favorite things that the media would put out, that somebody got stabbed on the one of the London bridges that was like half a year ago, which is a big thing. It is a sad thing, definitely. Then again, it was one occasion in like quite a long time span. I'm not feeling endangered over here. I think this is a safe country to be.
When it comes to Czechs as a nation, we are for sure known to be a peaceful nation, because when it came to the split of Czechoslovakia, we didn't fight with them, we just let them go. And when it comes to this, probably whatever happens, we won't be fighting with anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like Czech people are like, I don't care. Yeah, that's fine. It's true, like if I would be going to the pubs and stuff, Scots are known for the bar fights. These happen, yes. I mean, if you don't want to be in it, then you will be probably fine just walking away. But yes, these definitely happen here more than what I remember from Czech Republic.
Then, when it comes to the cultural life, it's quite difficult for me to say, because I have a feeling that when you are living in the Czech Republic, in one of those bigger cities, there are quite a lot of cultural events. And even if you are like in a small town, there are many of them who are trying to have their local events, some medieval festivals or concerts, summer events, and so on. But I'm just guessing that a lot of singers will be singing in the Czech language. So maybe it's good to hear at first how Czech songs sound to your ears before you decide to go to any of such events.
I think this is actually a really great topic and a good point for UK in general, because so what you have here in Scotland is the bagpipes. Like you can hear bagpipes over here pretty much everywhere. They are quite proud about that. They are proud about their kilts and the whole like being a Scots. On the other hand, this is not really a music per se, nothing you would really dance to. But if you go to Ireland, Northern Ireland, they are also very proud about their local traditions, which is called Cayley, which is basically just local music with a fiddle, a flute, I think, harmonica, I guess is in there. And it's the usual you will imagine when it comes to Michael Flightley's Lord of the Dance. That's basically the thing. And the thing is, they have really nicely integrated this part of culture into their day-to-day life, because if you have a pub in Northern Ireland, you have to have a license to sell alcohol and stuff. And you can either have a license to sell the alcohol till something like 11 p.m., or you can choose and have a live music, and then you're allowed to be open till 1. So many pubs have this, and it's absolutely gorgeous because you can just sit there at the fireplace and listen to the local music, and it's really nice.
So another topic that we should cover is feeling of personal freedom, because I believe that we as Czechs are quite open-minded. I mean, maybe too much, depends on your point of view. I believe that we have quite black Czech humor. People from another countries wouldn't assume that it's politically correct. Do you have the same feeling in the UK, that they are not as open-minded when it comes to this sort of humor as Czechs are?
Yes, a little bit. I mean, I like local type of humor. It is kind of a different, it's usually very absurd type of humor. And it's so if you look up like typical British comedies like Black Otter or similar, it's just like, what's that? But that's their type of humor. I would say if you're looking towards how you can express yourself, I would probably go with Czech Republic.
That might be for some people even disadvantage, because I'm sure that they should brace themselves and be prepared that they might hear some joking about disabled people, black people, pretty much anything and anyone.
Yeah. If you're looking for like the development of the, I don't know, politically correctness or the society thinking in general, then I would say in the UK it's definitely better from this perspective. I can still hear like really bad jokes on like people's color, skin color, people's relationship, people's religions. Whereas over here, because it's a very multicultural society by nature, it's not really a thing. I don't think people think like, oh yeah, he's black, or yeah, she's Muslim, and make some like stupid joke out of it. So definitely from this, UK is better.
Then, when it comes to religion, I kind of appreciate that in the Czech Republic, at least when it comes to my perception, it's not such a big deal. Because here in Germany, when you are moving to the country, you have to officially state what's your religion. And that was very, very strange sensation for me, because in the Czech Republic, nobody ever asked me about it. I believe that it's even forbidden by the law that you can't ask people for it. For example, here, when you are entering a company, they are asking you, and you have to let them know what's your religion. And that would be unlawful in the Czech Republic, because then they can discriminate you or something like that. So, how is it in the United Kingdom?
I don't know what's the story in Germany, as you mentioned, with the like, what's your religion, etc.
That's because of taxes. If you are a member of any of the religions, then they will take a special tax from your salary. And I don't know how many percent it is, but it will go to your church or to the mosque or wherever.
Okay, I heard similar from my friend from Austria, so I guess that's similar. Yeah, so definitely, when I was moving here, there was some form that I had to sign, and there was a lot of fields like, are you a veteran? Are you like part of like this minority? Is this your religion, etc.? And because that was in Northern Ireland, also, are you like Catholic or are you Protestant? Do you consider yourself being Irish or British or whatever other nationality? And the reason definitely over there was to protect those minorities. So the way HR explained to me is like, in case you sign up for some minority and there would be some problem, then that they could like review and see like, okay, there is someone harassing that person, and it is actually a problem because they are part of this minority, so we should like to take a closer look at it, not just like dismiss it as just like a banter.
Okay, so that's another approach, but I must say that I prefer the Czech one, like that nobody asks you. So then nobody like knows, like unless you let them know that you are in this religion or whatever, then it's your private thing and people don't really have to know. And then there is no reason to discriminate you.
Obviously, because I'm not part of any like real minority, I can't really assess on that how useful that is. Uh, if yes, then I would say it's better to actually have it in place, because we don't really think about that in Czech Republic. On the other hand, for me, it's better to not have to reveal those things if I don't want to, for example, as you said, or just for the sheer of like, that's no one's business. I don't really want to share this with even the employer.
Another topic that we can discuss is LGBT and their perception in society and their rights. Because in the Czech Republic, my feeling is that it's again not such a big deal. It's legal. You can have a homosexual relationship if you want to, and if you even want to take the next step with your significant other, you can have something called registered relationship. It's not a marriage, it's something like in that way, but not exactly. So that's the state that's in the Czech Republic. Is it in the UK the same, or can they have even a marriage?
So depends where you are. Again, we have uh, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and each part has slightly different rules. People, if they want to get into homosexual relationships in Northern Ireland, tend to just flee to Scotland. Okay, so that's like from the law perspective. Other thing is the societal, where I would say that it's exactly the other way around. As long as I remember, this was still like a taboo in like Czech society. Like being gay is like typical topic of Black Czech humor. So when I compare it with here, I think it's much more open and diverse. So I have quite a few friends that are in homosexual relationships. I know quite a few people that are transgender, and it's not a big deal. It's part of like what they are. Whereas in Czech Republic, I still don't think like two women are usually cute and everything, so nobody cares. But two guys holding hands together, walking down the street, they would get looks. Whereas here, nobody cares. It's just like your business. People are usually like, yeah, great. You have your partner. You're happy together. That's amazing.
Right. Well, in this case, I would assume that for sure you should move only to Prague, where there is like the biggest homosexual community in the Czech Republic. So maybe it will be okay there, but in another cities, you really might get some looks. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If you get to a village over here, probably it will be kind of awkward. Yeah.
Next point is the languages. I mean, like the number of languages that people are used to speaking. Because if you move to the Czech Republic, you might have a good chance that the younger generation is speaking English, the older generation might be speaking Russian, and then it's common in the Czech Republic that people are learning two foreign languages. So the second foreign language is can be German, or it can be Spanish or French. How is it in the United Kingdom? Do they really actually speak another language?
Again, depends, but in general, the answer is no. So if you get here and you speak to the locals, usually they are like, "Oh, your English is great," even though like you don't think like it's great. And they are really envy about you speaking two languages or three languages, because usually they can't really speak any other language. It is mandatory part of the education, I think 2 or 3 years to get a second language, which would be usually Spanish, sometimes French. Uh, but most of them couldn't really, live reasonably in a country that speaks that language. In Czech Republic, I still think it's kind of hard to just go into a random shop and start speaking English. Or do you think it got better?
Yeah, probably not. The last time that I was in Prague, most of the shop assistants in the supermarkets were, I believe, from Ukraine. So they weren't even speaking that much Czech. So I'm assuming that probably English wouldn't be a go as well. But on the other hand, you don't really need that much talking, because that's another thing that I appreciate about Czech Republic, and that the self-service. It's much more common there that you can just pay by yourself without any need of communication with anyone in the shop. How is it in the UK? Is it also common?
So actually, it got way better right now. Even the tiny supermarkets that are around here will have the self-service part kiosk, and I prefer them because it's just easier, just like beep beep beep, gone. So in recent years, this got way better over here.
If the listener who is considering these two countries is introverted, which country do you believe would be better for him?
I think Czech Republic. If you're introverted and you have a problem with like talking with people and stuff like this, I think over here you would have really hard time because it's always like someone tries to speak with you and hello, how are you and stuff like this.
Yeah, I would also vote for the Czech Republic because, as we were talking, people are a bit more calm, so they won't be trying to approach you and how are you, and we don't have this type of attitude. So you can be fine just by yourself. Is the weather better in the Czech Republic or in the United Kingdom?
Well, better is a kind of a deceiving marker way to put it because like everyone is different. So for me personally, the weather over here right now is better. Over here, I mean in Edinburgh, in the UK, and Scotland, because I kind of like the non-extreme climate when like temperatures are not too high, not too low, just like somewhere in the middle, which is exactly what it is here. In the winter, the minimum temperature you can get is like 2 degrees Celsius. And in the summer, if you get 21 degrees Celsius, that's a lot.
Is there any chance that the person will ever see snow in Scotland?
Yeah, in the mountains. So if you go to the Cairngorms or to the west, you will definitely get some winter time there, but it's not too much. We even went skiing, but it was basically like 2 weeks window, not too much really.
Hmm. Well, when it comes to the Czech Republic, I would say that the weather is also, when it comes to winter, it's also getting milder than it used to be. I guess that snow is now for maybe a week, maximum 2 weeks per year, I would say. But unfortunately, when it comes to the summer, I would say that it's getting a bit unpleasant. Yeah, the temperature is rising, so but if you are coming from India, it's probably still fine because I guess that the maximum would be like 30 degrees, maximum 32. The nice thing is that we don't have that humidity that comes from the ocean. So it's for sure more pleasant than in other countries like Japan or so. So it really depends on personal preferences. Next topic, which we shall discuss for sure, is cooking or the cuisine in the Czech Republic and in the UK.
You should know about UK that there's a proverb that if they wouldn't invade most of the countries in the world and import their cuisine, they would just poison themselves to death. And I really think that there's something true about that. So when it comes to cooking, I wouldn't really put like UK highly when it comes to the native stuff that's available here. I really like the Czech cuisine with their variety and stuff more.
And what if the guy who is listening us is really into sports? When it comes to the Czech Republic, we have the 4 seasons, so you can really enjoy winter sports like skiing or snowboarding. And in summer, the summer is quite nice, so you can go swimming to a number of lakes, or you can enjoy beach volleyball and so on. So in the UK, when the weather is not that good in summer and in winter, does it mean that you don't have as many opportunities as in the Czech Republic?
I always say that weather here is a character building exercise. And that's because it's not a question whether it's going to rain today. It's a question how many times and when it's going to rain. And I'm not really exaggerating because some days are just, or some weeks are just rainy. And that's a matter of fact over here. And if you really hate rain, this is definitely not a country for you. Having said that, I think that locals are really good with taking the best out of what they have. So cycling is a big thing over here, running, absolutely, definitely. They do also summer sports like swimming, paddleboarding, and stuff like this. Most of the activities here that involve water, you will have to have a wetsuit. When it comes to winter sports, as I said, there is definitely few places where you can do skiing on the north of Scotland. I don't think there's anything in England and definitely not in Northern Ireland. Well, in Northern Ireland, there will be like one really tiny area because they don't really have that many mountains.
And
So
can you go there by train? Because I like that we have those special ones in the Czech Republic that are called sněhulák, which means a snowman, and they are taking you from the cities directly to the mountains for skiing.
yeah, I didn't even dare to try that. I don't think that's a thing. Like, you will definitely have to find a bus that will maybe go, and then for whatever reason, halfway through, you will have to change and stuff like this.
What if our listener is single and he would like to find a girlfriend? Is it better to go to the United Kingdom or to the Czech Republic?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, so we have a person coming from India and looking for a girlfriend. Possible scenario. Where do you go? Czech Republic or UK? So I think in general, if you're for the looks, I would definitely vote for Czech Republic. I just love Czech women, how they look, how they present themselves. It's just my thing. If you look for character in the terms of being strong, independent, wild, then definitely Scotland, Northern Ireland has something to it. And I really met some really strong characters over here. And that's one of the things that I actually like over here, the emancipation of the women that are just very strong and wild.
Okay, now that we have covered quite a lot of topics, what's your summary? Should the guy move to one country or another?
Personally, because I was born in Czech Republic, I was raised there, and I left Czech Republic when I was, something like 29. I really enjoy the different culture over here. I really enjoy the friendliness and the openness of the people and the society in general. I kind of like the nature here because it is really wild and rough, and it makes of some really epic adventures when it comes to scenery and like pretty pictures for Instagram. So right now I'm definitely voting for UK, for Scotland, especially for the reason because I'm living here right now. So if I would say Czech Republic, that would kind of didn't make sense, right?
Okay, so my role is to defend the Czech Republic, so I will do so. And I would say that the biggest benefit of the Czech Republic is that it's not as known as the UK. So if you are that type of a person as myself that you don't like to, when you are in Paris, you don't like to go and just see Eiffel Tower, but you prefer to see something a bit different where there are not as many tourists, then Czech Republic is for you. Because obviously there will be benefits, like if you are really good at something, I don't know, from IT or whatever, there won't be as many foreigners competing for the same position as it would be in the case of the United Kingdom. So especially if it would be the first country in Europe where you are moving, it might be a really good choice, because from what I heard, it is quite nice for the people that when you have the job in the Czech Republic, I believe that if you are really working there for 5 years, then you can get like a permanent stay or something like that. But I'm sure that people will look it up if it's still the case. And then you can freely move to any other country in the European Union. And also, it will be very easy for you to travel around the Schengen area, which is like most of the Europe that you will be probably interested in.
Yeah, that's true. So again, Brexit, thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much that you had time for this podcast, and I hope that it helped not only to our imaginary friend from India who wants to move to Europe, but also to another listeners. And thanks, and have a nice day.
Okay, have a good one.
Bye bye.